Good morning. For those of you waiting for intro music, I apologize. It's not syncing up the way it's supposed to, so I can't give you intro music. I was trying to figure it out, but then I'm like, you know what? It's probably more important that I just come on the mic than try to get this thing to. I mean, it works fine on my computer, but I can't get it to run through the streaming software that I use, so you wouldn't be able to hear it. I can jam out. All right. Well, how's everyone doing this morning? I know it's pretty important. I thought about just canceling altogether and not doing the session since I couldn't get the music. I think I probably have to restart my whole system, and that would take a good 5 minutes. And I already said I'd be on in 5 minutes about 20 minutes ago. So we're gonna do a session on the sniper plays, but let's talk a little bit about trades going on today, and then we can move into the sniper play situation. Played some Apple today. Played that off of this point of control here. You can see the yellow line. We kind of popped up in the morning, and then we pulled right back into that point of control, and bought some short dated options for this week. Flipped those out at about 75%, and then the rest for about 90% as it popped up. And then now that we've come back down in to that level, I've reloaded, and I'm just waiting to see if it's going to hold that level or if it's going to drop down. And I got the 240 calls, right? That one was in chat today. S Marsh, I couldn't get it to work today. I tried, and then as everybody saw as I was coming on, my feed dropped because I was trying to get that thing working again. So I don't know. I think I gotta restart all the things to get it to match up. So my bad. So we've been playing GD. GD has come down, broke our levels, stopped out yesterday. That one is kind of a bust. It might reclaim this whole pattern, and if it does, I'm watching it. I'll be looking for kind of a reclaim of these levels here, and then a retest for a potential move. But the plan that we made on this one, it broke down. So that was a stop out, unfortunately. I really like Costco here on this weekly chart. I'm trying to figure out the best way to play it. I might try and enter a spread, maybe a 940, 945. Let's see, maybe we can come up with a good spread trade on Costco for next week when our earnings aren't for a little bit, right? Where are we here? No, earnings are the 25th, so we want to, what if we did a 9, what if we did like a 960, 962.5. So we're looking at per contract, we're getting about $1.20, somewhere thereabouts. Risking $1.30, $1.20, $1.30 per contract. That might be a nice way to play this out to September 19th. If you don't want to pay $1,500 for per contract. I might put that into. Do I want to do the 460s? I could do the 450, 450, 955s maybe. Let's see, 955. Going to skew that just a little bit, so you're going to get you're going to get $1 for each contract, risking $1.50 per contract, and then you're playing that right about here for a move. Whoa, sorry about that. For a move higher. So then we're playing a spread for Costco, which I do like a lot, and that we'd be playing a put credit spread for a move higher into this pattern, right? In this weekly pattern here, we are, down here at our support level, and if you remember back here, hold on a minute, let me get rid of. I have so many lines up here. If you remember this weekly chart, right, and we go back to, I don't know, a year or more ago, do you remember this, right? We had this nice consolidation here, and then it just exploded from there, basically hit a double. Right, and now it's doing that same consolidation pattern again, and ideally going to explode up for more. So I like that trade. I might put that in chat. I'm not quite ready to take that, but a spread could be a great way to trade Costco and not tie up so much of your capital, right? Does anybody else like that chart on the weekly? Yeah, and I'm not putting it in chat yet because I want to make sure that I want to look at the different options for maybe a credit spread or a debit spread and see what makes the most sense. And so I'm going to do that a little bit later this afternoon. All right, so let's roll into the sniper session. I've been promising I would do this. We talk about the sniper and kind of how to get that thing to work for you. This is the free sniper trading chart, okay? And I can share this with anybody in here if they want. Let's save it. Oh, you know what? I don't have to do that. I can just do that. Okay, so if you see in chat on the sniper, there's two options. There's the Sniper Pro, which I'll get to, and then this is the Sniper Basic, which is a free sniper trade setup. This is using all free indicators, right? So this will help anyone who wants to get started with this. And then there's a bunch of things that you can purchase, a bunch of indicators that you can purchase that kind of help with this, right? So for a sniper, so we're going to talk about a Sniper 1.0, right? And a Sniper 2.0. So the first thing we'll talk about is the Sniper 1.0. And a Sniper 1.0 is a reversal, right? So you'll see Nate, myself, D-Man play these reversals, and essentially what we're looking for is a price comes down or goes up to a certain area. We're looking for an RSI reading of overbought or oversold. this is an RSI chart here. You can see in this section we get into the overbought, which means RSI is above our 70 mark, right? And I think I need to change the settings on this. And we're looking for a reversal off of that. And in this case, as we dipped down, we didn't get into an RSI that was oversold. But what we're looking for in these kinds of trades, it's been a little bit rangy today. I might need to go to a different chart. We're looking for this reversal, and I'll show you how we time that reversal, right? So let me change my RSI values so that this shows up the way it's supposed to. Let's go to 65 and 35. A little bit closer, all right? And on some of these other tools, we can show, here I'll even, still in 1 minute, right? All right, let's go. Why won't that give me my choices? There it is. Let's go to, what do we want to do? 60, whoops. And 40. Okay, here we go. So here is, so the reversal that happened at 10:15 today could have been a good sniper trade. And the way we look for those is the first condition we're looking for is an RSI of oversold, right? So we're getting that as we're coming down below this 40 level. And it just depends on where you have your settings. You know, some people like them nice and tight at 60 and 40. Some people like them at 65 and 35. But the standard is 70 and 30, right? So you get more signals the tighter you go. But then you also might end up getting some false signals, right? So as this is coming down, right, we're looking for three things. We're looking for, I'll put them in here too. Whoops, don't do that. The first condition we're looking for is an RSI, RSI of oversold or overbought. Right? The second thing we're looking for is a color reversal, right? And the third thing we're looking for is a MACD cross. Okay? So that should pop up there. I don't know why it's not popping up, but there it goes. Okay, so this is our Sniper 1.0 criteria. And what we're looking for, we start to get into this oversold area, right? This is our sort of our RSI is a ready. Like if we think about a ready, like if we're thinking about a sniper as an actual sniper, right, with a weapon. We're getting ready when we see that the RSI is an oversold or overbought condition. We're getting ready. We're setting up our aim when we see the candle color changing right here from red. That one's red, right? And then we're looking for a yellow candle color change. That's our aim. And then our fire is a MACD cross to the upside, right? And so if I come in, excuse me, and Nate gave me whatever he's got, right? So all the official things happen on this candle right here, okay? So you can see that we were in oversold, right? We did get our aim candle, and then our confirmation is our fire, right? So you can sometimes front run these a little bit if this candle color changes and you get a close of that 1 minute candle. And then we're playing this to the upside, right? So we're buying calls on this candle right here, right? Because we got all the pieces, the ready, the aim, and the fire. And we're setting our stop at a swing below that swing low. And we're targeting, on the 1.0s, we're targeting 25%. Okay, so you could, and I'm guessing you're asking how do you avoid the first signal, which was here, right? We were oversold. We got this signal here, and so let's put a line in there, and we got a MACD cross there, right? So the question is, how do you avoid a false signal? And the answer is you can't really, right? This one might have gotten, if you'd gotten in early enough on this candle, you might have gotten your 25% there, but then you would have stopped at this level, right? And then you can try again when it happens a second time. So while this is not like a perfect, this works perfectly every single time, this is how we read those signals, right? And then so what we do from there a lot of times is say, well, okay, what's a good level that we might watch for a sniper trade? Okay, so in this case, this first sniper signal, I'm going to put a blue line here at gap close on the SPY, right? So gap close is here on the SPY where this blue line is. And we did get a signal a little before we got to that level, right? Another place we like to take snipers is maybe off of a point of control level, or a chart double bottom. Generally there needs to be sort of a secondary area where we can say, okay, I can see a bounce happening from there. So what these don't work as well is every time you get a signal, like you're trying to reverse this, and then you're trying to reverse this, and then you're trying to reverse this, like you're going to get yourself chopped up, right? So the idea is take them off of levels where they make sense that you might have a reversal. And again, this is you're taking a 0 DTE option, right? So let's open that up. These are, 0 DTE plays, right? And you need them to work, or you need to stop out essentially within probably 20 minutes. You don't want these to take a long time because you're buying calls or buying puts. The theta decay is going to just chew you up, right? So for those of you who are new to this, I highly recommend paper trading this, and or taking just one SPY call or put and learning the mechanics of this trade, because when you do it on like the SPX, which is 10 times the SPY, these things can really get away from you fast. And I'm usually taking let's put that here too. I'm usually taking at the money calls, right? So on the SPY right now, if I got a signal, on the SPY, I'd be taking the 646s or the 647s, right? Because we're right there at 646.23. So I'm taking at the money calls. Yes, I'm recording this, Dee. And looking for a quick flip out of that play. T-Hawk, I don't know what charting platform you're using, but if you're Thinkorswim, it's a toss study. RSI and MACD are completely free on every charting platform. You just have to change the settings slightly to give yourself a tighter look. Yeah, because these are free, all of these indicators that are showing right now are free indicators. That's why we put this chart together, so that you could try it without having to pay for anything. It's kind of the best way to give it a shot and see what you think. And then there are a whole host of paid indicators that will give you clearer signals and better signals. But you have to pay for them. So there's kind of no sense in doing that. I usually trade this on a 1 minute or a 2 minute chart, right? Sometimes, like today, we're kind of ranging a little bit so that, it's more of a 1 minute type of chart day. And then the 2.0 plays on this free version, right? So let's go Sniper 2.0. Let's see if I can move that here. There we go. Sniper 2.0 is a continuation play. Still with 0 DTE at the money. And we're generally looking for a Sniper 1.0 signal, and then a trend switch, right? And I'll show you what that means here in a second. Trend switch, and then you'll get that cloud cross. Well, I'm not gonna say that's the trend switch. We'll get a color change. Okay. So that's gonna update here in a second. So the Sniper 2.0 type play, what you'll see is this cloud here. This is a trend cloud. So when you're in green, price is above it. This is a bullish trend on the short term. When we cross over to a red, that's a bearish, and then when we cross back over, it's to a green. Now, this indicator that's on this chart, let me get rid of these lines so they're not as confusing. As it crosses from a red trend to a green trend, from a downtrend to an uptrend, it gives you a little white, it colors that candle white. And so that's your trend. That's your trend switch. And what you'll see is as that's happening, this goes from yellow to light blue, right? And that's your 2.0 signal is right there. So a lot of times you'll play a sniper, right? A sniper 1.0 turn, and you'll play that up to 25%, but it starts to push through and make it to a sniper 1.0 moves into a sniper 2.0. And then you're playing that continuation. And there's kind of two ways you can play that, right? You can wait until you get a darker color candle change from this light blue. That can be your take profit mark. Or if you're more aggressive, you can use the bottom end of this cloud as your stop out, right? Your trailing stop. So if you look at this, let's say, I took profits here on the candle color change. If I draw that almost straight across, right, the trailing stop of using the cloud would have maybe netted you a little bit more in profit. But if you're just playing a 0 DTE, that might be negated by the theta decay that happens over that, what's that, almost 30 minutes or so. So it's really, you want to just judge that by the strength in the market. Now, if you miss the 1.0 and you're just playing a 2.0, right, and you get this little dip, you get the 1.0 signal, and then you see this trend cross, right? A 2.0, you can enter the trade on that cross, right? And then you're targeting a candle color change again, right? And this is all done with free indicators. So in this case, this would be your entry, and that would be your exit. So as you can see, these are small hits, right? We're looking at maybe we've gone from 644 to 645, right? So you're getting about, $1 in the SPY move, and depending on which options you're playing or how many you're playing, that could just be $50 per contract, right? But if you're playing multiple contracts, that can add up. But also, if you're playing multiple contracts, you need to know how to manage these trades, because what will happen for a lot of people, and anybody that plays snipers will attest to this. You go to play a sniper here, right? Okay, let's say we played this sniper right here, right? We played this. We didn't get our 25%. It came out, and we said, well, we're not going to stop out right there. We're going to wait. We think it's going to bounce, right? So we're going to wait and let it bounce to here. Well, okay, that one would have worked out, and you'd be like, oh, look, I'm a hero. But what will happen is, didn't stop out as it broke that swing low. Come down, look for a bounce. If it just keeps going down, you're like, oh, maybe it'll bounce here. And then, oh, maybe it'll bounce here. And you're playing a 0 DTE option, and now you're down to, a delta 10, or they're basically worthless, and you're waiting for a bounce. And the bounce happens, but it doesn't happen for another hour. And you get this sweet bounce, but the theta decay that you've had in that hour's time, plus the fact that the option went way down, this bounce just doesn't do anything for you, right? So these are generally very quick in, very quick out type trades. Sometimes you can get a continuation like you've kind of had today off of that level, right? You could have held or at least a trailer through all of this, but most of the time we're in and out with 20, anywhere from 25 to 50%, right? Does that make sense? And if you take, if you get into a comfortable space where, let's say you're still trading the SPY, and you take 10 contracts, 20 contracts, whatever, and you flip them out at 25%, but you leave some on, and then you get a 2.0, and then you start to see that this thing's going to trend up. You can leave those trailers on, and you get a much higher percentage in time. But you want to take, in my opinion, you want to take the bulk of your trade off, when you're in that kind of 25 to 50% range, because it could turn on you in a heartbeat. Let me catch up on John. This trend cloud indicator is called super trend moving averages, and it's in that free version of the sniper, if that I put into chat a little earlier. Okay, so those are the signals that you're looking for both a sniper 1.0 and a sniper 2.0. Now, the one thing you'll see Nate use is a paid indicator. So this will look familiar to a lot of you. This is the ready, aim, fire from Simpler Trading, right? that's giving us a lot of the same signals, mostly 1.0 signals, right? So if we come back here, we got a same buy signal, right? Let me get rid of this, right? That dotted line that I'm putting in, you can see right here, we are oversold, right? And we got a buy signal right there, right? And then if we quickly get a sell signal, and then on our next one, the one we talked about at a gap close level, we got another buy signal right there, right? So there are paid indicators that show you the same thing that we just achieved through both RSI and MACD. Okay, this thing is not in my links, because this thing you have to pay a lump sum for to own it, and then you own it forever. But there's just other ways to complete this without spending, I think it's like $700 or $800, and you get just a ton of false signals, right? So that one is not my favorite, although it is great, and it does work well for the 1.0 snipers. Now, the one that I use, let me just open yet another chart here. Let's see. I thought I had it open, but here we go. Let's see, I turn that off. Is this one from, I gotta turn, that's what I was trying to do, that one off. There we go. Then we get candle color changes. So this is the sniper paid link from this. I'll put the link in here. This is a paid indicator from LuxAlgo, or a combination of paid indicators from LuxAlgo that show a lot of the same things. So down here in this oscillator, right, we have an RSI line. We have, when we get into oversold, I've set it so that there is a plus symbol, right? That gives us a plus, which means we want to try and take that long. And then inversely on the short side, when we want to take a put, and we're in the overbought category, it gives us a signal there. And then the candle color changing and clouds work the same, pretty much the same way. They're just colored slightly different. And so this is the paid version that I use for sniper trading, and it works just as well as the free version here. You just, on the free version, you just have one additional thing you have to watch for, and that's the MACD cross, right? So the general idea behind the Sniper 1.0 and the Sniper 2.0 are the same. The 0 DTE plays at the money are the same, right? Okay, it's $700, right? So that's the ready, aim, fire, right? And you just have to go to, if you like that, you just have to go to simpler trading and buy that. Or if you like the LuxAlgo one, this one, it's I think it's 50 some bucks a month, $30 a month, right? And then if you want like all the other features, I think it's like 50. I'm not entirely sure if I remember. This indicator is comes in set up like this. I'm happy to if you have that Lux Algo subscription, I'm happy to share this with you, this setup. But if I share this with you and you don't have that subscription, none of this is going to show up. Right? And then finally, it's not quite ready for prime time, but the ready aim fire, I'm sorry, the sniper indicator that we've been working on is almost ready. And I give you a quick preview of that. That's right here. And so you get your ready in dark red and dark green, and then your aim is with these dotted lines, and then your fire is with these arrow signals. And see, if you look at what we were looking at today, you get a fire signal right there off of that same level. And this is giving us fewer signals so we don't get caught up in a lot of false signals. But it's not quite ready for prime time yet, so that's not available. Does anybody have any questions? On sniper trades? Yeah, all this is done in TradingView. Yeah, the color shift needs to happen. They'll usually happen at kind of the same time. But the color shift and then the MACD cross is kind of the confirmation. And I'm happy to share either one of these charts with you guys. Again, this one is free. It'll show up as is. The Sniper Pro stuff. If you don't have it, it will come up as a blank chart. I also watch the ticks over here on the right hand side. I like to see, what the ticks are doing to try and make some decisions on whether it's a good idea to take a long or a short based on what we're getting here. You got it, Fog. Steve, yeah, here you go. Again, this will show up as almost completely blank if you don't have the man, I cannot chart. There you go. If you don't have the subscription. So does anybody have any other questions on how we trade the snipers? Another thing you can do if you're kind of new to trading snipers is if you have like Thinkorswim or another sort of active trader style of order entry, is you can set OCO type orders where as soon as you enter the trade, you've got a stop loss trigger and then a profit trigger. And so you don't have to because these happen so quickly, emotions can take over, like hope and greed and those sorts of things, and fear. And if you have those set, then you'll automatically stop out at a certain percentage and you'll automatically take profit at a certain percentage. So once you put the trade on, you can just back away and let things happen the way they're supposed to. And it takes that emotion out of it, which is kind of interesting. I've done a video on how to set that up. Vizsla, yeah, I did. I did show that for a second. All right, so does anybody have anything they want to take a look at before, hold on just a second, before I jump off completely? Apple's just sort of hanging tight. No, I stopped out of GD. And I'm gonna sort of examine a couple of different trade ideas for Costco. I still really like that one. All right, well, I'll put Nate's screen back up, and then I will talk to all of you later. And I'll try and post this recording up this afternoon. I have tons of other ones if you are jonesing for a sniper trading session, but I'll also put this one up so everybody can see it. Okay, talk to you all later.